Welcome back, everyone. DreamHack Open Sevilla is way underway. First map down in this semifinal between Mad Lions and North, where the gold side really seemed to take down the cold side, and we'll have to see if they can repeat it in Dust2.
Yeah, no, I think they should. Like, in all honesty, I think North, we didn't see the players I feel like we needed to see. Like, Kirby had an okay match. He definitely didn't have one of his lightest out performances. AZ did very well, and we had a few moments from Gade and Cajun B along the way, but ultimately it was Yugi. Like, they didn't have their star AWP performing. Again, going into Dust2, like, I sort of even made a reference to it without sort of thinking about it. It's like, you think Dust2 is the AWPer's paradise, but then I feel like that CT side of Overpass is another place where you need to have your AWPer performing. Now we go into that AWPer's paradise, where Acor has been, I'd say, the best player in the server. I don't think there's arguments for maybe other players on his team being just as good, like Roy, for example, but ultimately, he was fantastic. Now we go into Dust2, where if he even plays to, say, like 80, 75% of what he just did in the last map, he should have an absolute field day. And I don't know, I don't see a way that North can now turn this around. It's a map that they don't play too often. It's one that they have an okay win rate on, but only have 4 maps in the last few months. So everything is pointing towards Mad Lions taking this 2-0 and heading into the grand final.
Especially when you consider that the not necessarily up to par performance of Yugi is amplified by a performance like Acor,
yeah,
when it's kind of balanced out even more on the opposite side and capitalizing upon the lack of an op presence for the opposition. And then you saw other people starting to step up a little bit, and while for North, AZ started to get online there in the final moments, maybe you're hoping that will carry on over into Dust2 and follow off on some of that, I guess, warm up that a lot of them started to get into in the duels.
Yeah, the other problem as well is I feel like pretty much every single clutch situation was won by Mad Lions. Like, think about like some of the rounds that actually went the other way, like the AZ 3K, which turned into a 2v5 win for Mad Lions, with Acor one-upping him and getting a 4K. Like, there were countless 1v1s, 1v2s, where I feel like almost every single one of them went the way of Mad Lions. And I don't even necessarily think that like that's down to like 50-50 or luck. I think that some of the way that their players play off of each other in these 2v5s, 2v4s, whatever, is incredible. It's like they're almost like twins with psychic abilities that are just going to look in the exact right position at the right time to cover off their teammate and work together. And it doesn't matter who's in that situation, they just seem to have that synergy, which I don't know if that's something that Hunden has actively worked on, or it just seems like this time he's got the team right. Because we've seen him in previous iterations, we've even seen him play in the likes of alternate attacks, where he's had some arguably young talent, but it's never really seemed to work. It didn't really work in this way. Maybe this is something he's actively gone, okay, I want to work on this, this, and this, or maybe he just got a little bit lucky and he got 4 players who just seem to work together fantastically well. The other interesting thing is if this team ever did get torn apart, like if pieces were picked out, would they work as well with other players? That's genuinely something I'm curious about, because we've seen Bubsky in a previous roster before do like very well, like the Fragsters team, but I'm interested to know if it's just that these guys just happen to play together very, very well, or if they are just that good and we just haven't seen a lot of them play on this level before.
Well, and it does seem like other rosters like to look over towards Hunden's teams and say, who has he developed? Who can we...
That one? No, normally it's more like the scene in Harry Potter where he goes, I'll have the lot. Like, just pulls out all the gold coins. That's what North and Astralis like to do, just tear his teams apart. The thing is, though, this time, they've actually got some decent backing. They've been bought out from Tricked. Tricked will always defeat a team. Maybe Mad Lions will be a team that's here to stay, and I hope so, because I love watching them play.
Definitely a lot coming out of this squad here in the semifinal. We're heading into Dust2 for our second map, pistol round underway, with Mad Lions onto the T side first, North over for CT. Typical setup here right off the bat, sending a couple over fairly aggressively during the tunnel portion. Not positioned on the back of site, but instead seeing who they can find here. There's a stack in the corner.
Surprise.
And that's how you're going to get it. Say, hey, let's just throw off their crosshair completely and get some frags as immediately as they try to push in here. North are answering. They do have some just kind of stacked over in CT mid and are having to look at all of these passageways to find a pick. And it's Acor that's looking to get it right here as he rotates in and gets that shot onto Hugie. Meanwhile, bomb was able to get planted, so that's going to be Mad Lions walking away with round number 1.
Yeah, I don't know if that was just a direct counter or a little bit of luck, because that was literally a 3-man stack outside B site waiting for that aggression. So maybe Hundens watch over the demos of North and see that they like to get aggressive on this B site, but they literally did the exact opposite of what North were hoping they would do, which is just sit and wait for them to peek them. And from that point onwards, well, unless there was some magnificent shots coming out from someone like Cajun, there was no way that North were ever going to win that round back.
It does make me wonder how much of a factor plays into it the fact that these are from the same region. They play against each other quite frequently. So whereas that was a surprise to us, it didn't seem to be for Hunden, who also finds the first kill of this round. They're starting to drop. Lots of action over here on the B side, directly outside the tunnels and over by car, having to back off a tad as Mad Lions burst through this, being outnumbered. North have to try and just, I guess, really back up at this point. You've got Hugi just sitting there, nothing really that he's trying to hold on to at this point, but potentially try to get a frag, maybe pick up a rifle, but he's just going to rotate through the lower tunnels at this point.
Yeah, it's just a hope to steal a gun, which is possible. Bobski is going to be around the angle, but they seem to be playing in couplets again, where they're just basically making sure that he can't get more than one kill, and well, there's the one. So if anything more goes the other way, then I'm a little bit more worried about Mad Lions. But no, they'll quickly clean that up. They keep the rifles, which is the most important thing. And now we move into the buy rounds. Again, this is where things become a little bit more interesting. No AW. Well, actually, you could go for a glass cannon AWP. I always find this. When I'm questioning if a player's going to buy an AWP or not, they're always the last one to buy. They're almost the most... I almost just imagine him like talking to Gay going, Gay, can I buy an AWP? He's like, oh, but we really need the utilities. Like, I'd really like to have an AWP.
Can I? But the question we've been asking ourselves throughout the semifinal is, what is he going to do with that AWP? Because we need to see a little more, especially here on Dust2.
I think we need to see a lot more. I feel like you're being kind. You're definitely the kind of person on this cast that I think he needs to completely change what happened in the last one, and he's just been owned. He is dead within the first few seconds. KRB at least manages a trade, but they've given up long control. This seems to be an elaborate ruse. The only problem is this ruse is without the bomb. So they're easy, well, they should be able to take down Cajun. He's going to be the only one here, hiding in the corner. Gets the first, but now we need to see a trade out. We'll see if he can do anything more. No. But the bomb has to rotate. Look how far away it is. Akor's still running. He's got his unbranded shoes on. Agile sponsor here. And well,
working on that cardio.
Yeah, he'll be able to get into the site, but the CTs could start retaking before they're even here. And that's the problem. That's where it all goes wrong. They challenge in the 2v2, and now he's in a 1v2.
I love how it happens to immediately when he gets to tunnels and he says, oh, okay, I guess I'm going lower.
They're both there.
Trying to watch onto it. So Akor, he does have the bomb. He was looking over on mid side to see if they were directly watching over from the B doors or the window. Of course, you're not going to be sure if one is just popping right behind. So without that information, he's heading on over to A for the plant.
I wonder if he's going to go straight for a CT peek, because he knows that they're both down there. No, he's just going to try and jump across. He's going to fight this from long. Now, it's going to be tough in a 2 versus 1, even with an AWP. It's a good setup for him, because obviously he has the weapon advantage by a country mile. The fact is, though, the CTs are actually going to split up. And although that means there's more of a chance of them killing off the player on long, it also means that if KRB dies, this round should be over. And I think Akor's more than aware that somebody could be coming in from this angle, so he's just going to be sitting in a more passive position, watching for KRB. KRB hasn't actually checked the pit. The defuse coming in, but there we go. He goes back a little bit later. Smart stuff from him. Do they have time? I don't think they have time. The bomb's going to go off. That's it.
Yeah.
They don't win the round. And you can see it on AZ's face. He was just a little bit too slow, and that's a... Get the camera off him. Get the camera off him. We don't want to see him sad.
No.
We only want to see him smiling.
Happy smiles. It's Championship Sunday. We want it to be all positivity here. But I can definitely understand his frustration.
Oh, for sure.
The time that was bought sitting over in pit was enough to delay that. And also the planting on top of the box so that you were setting it up so you could try and get that shot if necessary, but didn't even have to go for it. Still Mad Lions feeling good about that one. Moving in more aggressively directly through long. Shush is able to clear it out with the help of that utility. And the rest of the CTs that are over on A site now rotating directly into the elevator area. But there's still more Ts to go ahead and answer. Hunden picking one up, and it's just 2 up for North. A single op, but completely dry as the rest of it goes. All you can do is sitting over here back towards Goose to see if he can pick off any of Mad Lions that show their face. B is completely open, though, for a plant. And Kirby's not going to be able to go ahead and make this play work, but can maybe try and get some kind of pick in the process. There's one.
Yeah, the T's actually don't have a hell of a lot of money, so I understand the want to take away this AWP, but at the moment he's just padding his stats and also removing money from your side of things. So these few kills that Kirby are getting are important, but well placed in the end. Not going to need to pick up that other orb because Acor already has one. And in the end, it's sort of worth it. Like, you're going to force rebuys, of course. Now going into this next round, if North can win it, they could actually set themselves up quite nicely, and they're going to go straight in with a double orb setup. So I was wondering who would pick it up. Like, in the past, KGB has been a primary AWPer. We even saw Kirby just get a few kills with it there, but they're going to give it to AZ instead. And I wonder if that is based off position. Yeah, he's actually going to be playing mid. And get tagged through the wall and the smoke.
AZ hasn't fully come online yet during this map. One kill so far, and this might be the opportunity to try and do so, but when you're marked all the way down to 14 right off the bat, it definitely weakens your ability to go into these duels confidently. Standard split off from North on this defensive side, which leaves Mad Lions wondering where they want to go from this mid position. And it looks like it might be a movement up towards Cat, but there is one of the AWPs there lying in wait to find them. And that's going to be the first pop over from the CT side as they attempted to break into the A site. And with that warning, Mad Lions have to slow this down. Waiting for the utility to drop, but it's North that brings it through with the incendiary. Too much damage for them to try and push through. Acor gets the first look onto Yugi, which is great over for the T side and kind of gives a signal for the rest of them to join together to try and push up Cat. But here it is, the smoke to put out the fire, and Kirby is here. Try and answer again. There's one, there's two. Can he get three? Starts to light him up at the feet, but not the finish off just yet. Mad Lions have pushed themselves onto the fight, and Gade gets that angle as the peak comes across. Acor still putting in the work for his team, though, but he is the only one standing. And maybe one is all he needs, but he has also been tagged up pretty effectively. Directly onto the site he goes. AZ below in that elevator position.
Oh my God.
Says, here's my head. I'll make it available to you. I'm gonna sit down back on the ground into my into my grave. But Mad Lions here will be getting that plant, but not the round finish.
That was so risky from AZ. Like, I understand that he was low, but that's a 1v2. He's low on HP. Don't give him the 1v1, especially not Acor, not someone of his caliber. These were a sick couple of shots. Like, every single one was one that I think anybody in a normal game would be very happy to hit. This was just sick. Like, that's something you might see in a COD montage. And, well, we all know that that game's trash, so hitting is not even that difficult. But yeah, that was just sick from him, and no surprise he's going to buy back up with another AWP, his glass cannon. As said, like, they win the round. Like, you look at it in the grand scale of things, they still win the round, they still put a lot of damage onto the economy of their opposition. Sure, their money's not in the best of states, but considering there's a lot of pistols, this is not a bad scenario to be in for North.
Question is, can they start to string these together now that Mad Lions have much less of an investment with a couple CZs and a Deagle that all get taken off except for Bubsky, who's over by the mid doors and is just going to back off into the lower tunnels because North secure in this one. They had the purchase power, they had the positioning, they had that momentum off of the last round. This is pretty much in their complete control, but can they get this op away?
And KGB is really looking like the rock of their team at the moment. I wonder if that smoke was intentional. Because if it was, I think he was just trying to bait someone into pushing him. But yeah, him being the rock is going to be important for them. The sort of calm player within quite a fiery roster. We see it in the last round as well, just using his utility to get the final kill. And this one is squeaky clean. Although the last round was ridiculously close and it was probably quite frustrating for them, to go win that round, reset your opponent's economy, and then win this one as clean as can be is the exact setup that North want to go in for this CT side start.
Not a single weapon lost, too. You get to keep both AWPs. You've got rifles for the rest, plenty of utility. Should have confidence to try to string another one together potentially, being that it's all pistols on the side of Mad Lions.
They're going to attempt to get a bomb plant. That is the goal in this round. run on towards Gade, and all they really want to do is just get the bomb down. But they've dinged him twice. Unfortunately, the utility has made things very difficult. Hunden just going to try for a risky play from behind, but yeah, good work from Gade. Because even if he goes down there, that's an extra $800 per player. We are going to see a pause called. Or if that is a tactical pause by Hunden, so they're going to be given a little bit of time.
Yeah. Mad Lions got the first 4 of this, and then North were able to respond with 3. So it makes sense at a time to take that tactical pause here. That's okay, but you don't want it to get run away from you.
Yeah, give Peacemaker a chance to talk. Obviously, we've seen him on multiple different rosters now. We've seen him in Heroic quite a few times, even went over to Tyloo, which I imagine this team is a lot easier to deal with than Tyloo, but considering they were speaking part Chinese, part English, I think maybe even a few other languages thrown in there just for the banter of it. But yeah, this is probably a much better task from him, and it's good that they're giving him opportunities to sort of basically make observations for them, because you know that Hunden's definitely going to be the mastermind a lot of the time of the operation, but to have 2 people just with that overview, with the opportunity to give information, is going to be very useful to them. A little bit of aggression coming out onto short initially, but ultimately looking more like a default. That is risky from Gade, but it works wonderfully. He's going to push in, find the kill onto Bubsky, remove him from long, and may even keep his aggressive position there just in case they do want to double back. And this utility usage early on is really almost stumping the T side. They're just having to wait, and every peak they're making is actually resulting in a pick for North side.
1 by 1, making their impact known. You do got to give it to Gade. There's a couple situations where it looked like he should have been the one to fall out, but manages to stick around. AZ is working with that double op setup and making it worthwhile. In tandem, both of them picking up 3 collective kills for the North side. Gade having that initial one to crack things open. So it's just Shush again. We'll be running into Gade here, so who's going to get the eye first? It's CT, and North tie this up 4-4.
Yeah, they've had that resurgence. They've got a few rounds in a row. I think we're starting to see them gain in confidence, and more importantly, gain in bank, as they have now got a lot of finances available to them. This round, once again, is just going to be some pistols. I quite like to see Mad Lions just group up again and try and challenge one of these sites, like be it through long, be it through short, with maybe some extra weaponry, because, again, like when you fight as individuals, like I still have a lot of almost nostalgia, I guess you could call it nowadays, for how good some of the individuals on North can be. So if they can come online, there is a possibility that they steal this map away. Whereas when it comes to synergy, I don't know if there was ever a point where we saw synergy within this North roster. Like, the fact is, one of the only tournaments they managed to win was where MSL was MVP, which is ludicrous. It doesn't happen. So we'll have to just wait and see how Mad Lions are going to adapt, how they're going to react. That was a round where never really expected to see anything. But again, it's going to be flawlessly clean for North. So we're now seeing, well, quite a few players with over $10,000 in the bank and not having to spend any of it.
Their synergy was very questionable in that first map, as you said. But now, very convincing for the past 5 consecutive round victories for North. A lot of that, they just feel like they're coming online. Things are landing better. They're switching up their strategy and reacting much more quickly. Heavy hit onto Acor with the HE to bring him down to 23. And he's just going to keep maintaining that position because they really just need that information sending more than anything else. And
there would be a third nade.
Yeah, there can't possibly be. Leaves the opening. Hunden's rotating with bomb over here up towards Cat, but Gade and 2 other CTs are lying in wait. Past the smokes, the incendiaries go down, and the CTs move in with it. But it's Mad Lions that come up advantageous with the 2-for-1, allowing them to push past it potentially, but Yugi's got his crosshair on those stairs. As soon as he sees a little bit of helmet, he fires off the shot for that.
Yeah, we're seeing a bit of a step up from him. Cross will be coming in, and it has to, because they need to go and retrieve that bomb. Wary of someone being on shore, but it's actually Yugi from below. Are they actually going to go jumping down to try and fight him, Acor? I don't even think Yugi saw him for even a split second. However, AZ has come in, but Acor hits another shot with the orb. Leaves just Cage and B. As said, he's been the rock for the team so far. 9-4, right at the top of the board. The question is, 2 Mad Lions, do they go for the double bluff? Do they go all the way back to B? They could. It would probably be the better scenario, and I think Acorn now is going to make that decision. But he's going to be left into the 1 versus 1. Straight away, I think KGB is going to realize that he is on the wrong site. I wonder if there's going to be a peek back coming from Acorn somewhere across the map, because the problem is he's so desperately low on HP. He's also very low on time, so he has to rush this. Bomb plant just going to go into default, and KGB's been able to get a lot of space.
Time, utility, HP, all low for Acor, which leaves this for KGB to just get directly onto the site. But Mad Lions can at least pick up that extra cash because of this plant.
I do like that we're now starting to see what I would say is more confident plays coming out of the CT side, though. They go for the initial long aggression, make their presence known, throw a lot of utility, and then they go back to short. Now, although that aggression failed, and I think some of that was based off like the attempt to run through the smoke, I like the idea. I like that they're trying to take map control away. And okay, sure, in the end it came down to Yugi hitting a couple of nice shots and basically setting them up for the latter portions of the round, but it's looking better for them. This time, long control is going to be taken very early on. There isn't an AWP, however, so AZ does have the advantage, at least with the range, but he's got to be careful, because not only does Bubsky have an SG, but we know that with these AKs, Mad Lions can be clinical.
Mad Lions are hoping that with the stack up that they can move in with some safety, even if they lose a player or two in the process. AZ's directly on the site. Cross has been smoked off, and AZ's response is to smoke off the site itself. Finds the pop over as they walk through, and Roy finds his death. Bubsky with the answer through the wall. North slowly moving some as KGB goes into lower CT spawn, but it's still completely smoked off for the time being. Same thing over with the stairs, and Lions have taken the opportunity to get this plant for themselves. All of North have spread across, knowing that Mad Lions have secured that area, and Gade even eliminated over on the sidelines.
Yeah, this again has turned into a save. They still have lots of money in the bank. Like KGB actually has $14,000, so they're going to be watching for an exit. If he goes down, sure, he loses the SG, but at least it is going to be that chance to just clear some of these players out. Nice shot from Acor once again. 3 kills for him in the round. I'm starting to wonder if he's even better with the AWP or the rifle, because he's so proficient with both that it's difficult to say which I'd rather see him use. Another round onto the board, making it 6-5. Even still, though, I'd like to see a little bit more, at least in terms of rounds from the CT, or from the T side, sorry. And yeah, a lot of these situations, it does seem to be like individuals bringing up these rounds for the side of Mad Lions. Nonetheless, this buy, and probably the next one, is still going to be good enough for North again, though. This man just seems to have X-ray vision. Like, maybe that's what people, maybe that's what's happened. Like, they've forgotten to turn the X-ray off on his PC, because the amount of times he's now hitting people through the door just off pure timing is ridiculous.
Little do they know, it's not just about LASIK anymore. There's actual laser eye surgery to just see through smoke, specific for CS players. Agent B was always the last one to be hanging around for North in some of these rounds, and the first to get some heavy HP chunked off of him. But in the end, they still do have 5 up currently. So for the positional advantage that the defense has, it allows them to be kind of more standard in the way they're using this. Gade continuing to watch over on long by blue. The bomb is positioned over on Catwalk, which is why North do have a couple position and are using their utility to block off that access point, but it's going to be through the mid doors that Mad Lions begin to rotate. AZ's keeping the angle over from the B doors, though, and should be able to respond effectively, but as soon as he tries to hop on out, there's actually 2 planted onto the back of the B site, where Shush and Bubsky are ready to try and push through and clear. Bomb dropped directly over into the CT mid, and Shush picks one up for himself. North still have some strong aspects for them, though, as Gade with the utility hopping right directly into the flames and potentially into his grave. Mad Lions now outnumbering Yugi and Gade. Yugi's still fairly healthy with that op, but they're just going to hang on back into long as Mad Lions can continue to take over on the B site.
That Molotov, I think, did 96 damage to Gade,
Yeah,
which a little bit unlucky. Again, there's a lot of possibilities in this round. Like, the fact that Kirby is able to run through the smoke off the back of a flashbang, get 2 kills before Aiko is able to get the trade, that looked like it was going to be the moment. But then Shush just runs into the B site, doesn't even spot AZ at the back of the site, and still manages to get both headshots and open up the B site. And I think that's where the round slipped away. I think those 2 B players needed to do better. Now, I can forgive Cajun B because he gets tagged through the door at the beginning of the round, but I think AZ needed to do better there. And because he goes down without much of a fight, well, once the Molotov damage does enough, that's one of the moments where you have to kind of go, okay, we have to save our guns. We have to make sure we can continue to buy. And well, we now see the scoreline equalize, 6-6. Mad Lions starting to grind back once again. It's good to see that Kirby is having a pretty lights out performance once again. 15-7, topping the whole server. Akor's clawing at his heels at least. But all in all, it's been, like, if you look, well, let's put it this way. If you look down at the frags at the moment, you would suggest that North are probably winning. It's just the fact that a lot of the time they're now saving because they get put out of the round just by such a dominant take of one of the sites that they don't really have a chance to go for the retake or they don't have a chance to hold on. So I think clearly something needs to change in their overall strategy to put the right players in the right place at the right time, which is fairly difficult on Dust2. As mentioned yesterday, and well, pretty much every time we see the map, it is the CT side's gambles that sometimes have to pay off. Like, are you going to go 3 aggressive onto long early in the round? Are you going to have...
What, bro?
Oh, AZ just... like, he tried to go for the run through mid, and the second that deep smoke was spotted by Aiko, he just goes, he's going to try and push mid, isn't he? Bangs him straight through the smoke. That's going to be tilting to witness. And while now there's actually only 1 man on the A side, rotation already coming in from Kirby to try and throw in a little bit of support. But what can you do against stuff like that? Sure, don't push mid. I guess that's one of the options. But in the last round, they didn't, and he still gets hit. So what do you do?
It makes all the difference. That's a completely different tone for the round for the time being. Mad Lions with the number advantage to start to push aggressively into this A site. And even though they lose 1 down, they're still able to just get the trades infinitely in their favor. So North, Cajun B, Kirby, up again, rotated over towards the B site. And Mad Lions, the thing is, even though this is 6-6 currently, North did string together 6 consecutive rounds for those victories. And Mad Lions getting 2 back-to-back, potentially what looks like to be a 3rd currently.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Then as
100%.
Yeah, you're gonna start to get worried by North because it's a very different feeling than when you're just trading rounds back and forth. You get worried that there's just gonna be another string going in the opposite side as we're nearing the end of this first half.
Well, yeah, it seems like the tactical balls definitely seem to help them out a little bit. And again, like, there's nothing more valuable than a player who can find you a pick within the first, like, 10 seconds of the round. Like, you pay big money. I'm pretty sure Mad Lions probably did pay big money for this roster, but Akor in particular is like a shining light within this team. He's 14-8 at the moment. He's been getting so many opening picks for the side. The kill onto AZ this round, I genuinely don't know how he's doing it. Like, it's just a mind reader of what his opposition are going to be doing, and it has to be really frustrating if you're on the north side to be playing against someone who's so good at hitting these timing shots. Finally, he's missed one. I'm actually surprised he missed one. We're going to have to push out long. Just now just doing damage while completely blind. Gate desperately trying something, and Ryan hits one through the smoke as well.
Oh my God.
This is so sick from Mad Lions. They're only doing, like, what, a lot of fairly basic things, but they're doing them so successfully. And
with style.
Hey, guess what? They're going to save again.
But Akor, hey, you know how you didn't get that shot this time? Well, we're just going to make a bunch of flashy stuff happen on the other side of the map here to make up for it. We want to keep it at that elevated level that people are getting used to within this map.
It's like they have a deal that only one player is allowed to get a kill through a smoke or do damage through a smoke or a door in a round. So Rory goes, wait, you didn't connect the shot? Sick. I'm just going to wreck someone straight through the smoke while spraying. Like,
teamwork, man. Saying everyone deserves their time to shine. And Cajun B is looking for his time to shine.
He can't win the round.
No, but that's still really good play from him to just take those off, try and put some dent into the Mad Lion side, even if he can't pick up the round.
Yeah, I think it's more important he saves the orb. Like, in all honesty, the money is pointless. Like, it means nothing. Like,
too much already.
It's the last round. So if they have $7,000 to $10,000 to spend in the last round, well, I've already witnessed one auto sniper. Make that 2 auto snipers. That's where they're going to be spending it. But yeah, so it's not important that he gets those kills. It's important that he makes a little bit of extra money. That'll be $900. And also it's important that he saves the AWP. Spam going through. 0 shots here, but luckily Acor once again is going to be getting the opening pick. And I think I'm going to have to go have a look, just see how many opening picks this man has actually got, because it's starting to, it feels like a lot, but maybe it's just being exaggerated by the fact that most of the kills are fairly ridiculous.
Totally different place for him to be, though, to get that opening pick, as Mad Lions have committed over towards long, much more than they have in the past. Free fire on Zakar as now the smoke starts to go down across the CT cross for both of these sides, but Shush takes the opportunity to rotate over towards Carr and answer Gade after he takes down Roy. 3v3 situation currently. As Bubsky starts to make his rotation up short, maybe he can find Hugie and Kjerby if they don't manage to look back, but there it is. Cajun B picks it up onto Bubsky, and now it's just Jush all alone onto the site. Bomb has been planted, but the pop-ups begin to happen. And there you have it. North will be able to go for this one. So with 8-6 going into this, it's going to be 8-7 as North pick up the round in the first half. When we return, we'll see who takes it home with Dust2. How's it going, DreamHack Open fans? We have been in for quite a treat here in map number 2 of this semifinal. Mad Lions and North keeping things close here on Dust2. That being said, since it is the second map, Mad Lions have the opportunity to try to put this entire series away and get themselves into the finals.
It's looking like it's going to be B pressure once again as the early battle comes out. Bubsky gets that opening duel victory. It looks like there's a little bit of aggression coming out from Roy. He's got to be careful because there is still a man waiting outside long doors just in case. I can't really afford to get too aggressive, but being patient, I think realizing that now that the B take isn't coming back in, he can fall back into a more passive scenario. Now bear in mind, there's only 2 flashbangs and a smoke, so even if they do get out towards long, they'll only have 1 smoke for the cross, which would definitely leave openings. Also, they've got to try and get past Roy, who is only left slightly blind and even has some support on the corner as well. So it's going to be a little bit tough. Nice work from Cajun B. And actually, Acor, well, I was going to say he gets overwhelmed, but somehow he's still alive. How is this man not dead? Kill him already! He gets around the corner. That doesn't make any sense. But Kjerby snuck his way out mid. This could be everything. He doesn't get... How? How does Hunden kill him? I'm so confused. That's 2 kills now that should have been for free for North. Instead, Hunden just 180 pings the head straight off. And now they've got 3 players on this site. This is going to be such a tough take for North.
Oh, man, how, Sway? That is the question. How did this become a 2v2 right now? Mad Lions left only with Bubsky up on here. Gade and Cajun B have both been tagged up to hell, but in the end, it has been quite a battle here right at the start that maybe not everyone was expecting. Bubsky rotates directly onto the plat, but Gade is just waiting in line here down an elevator. Looks on up to find that location, and there you have it. This will be defuse community. Oh my, that was just a lot of surviving that shouldn't have happened at points.
I'm so confused as to how Acor didn't die earlier and how Hunden didn't die earlier. And then I'm even more confused how Gade just wrecked everyone, but I think they're going to be very happy with that. Nice shot from Yugi as well. We basically see the same thing once again, a peek into middle, a risky play thrown out, and a punish coming in. And that's a good start for the T side. I think they need to get things rolling a little bit here, get some momentum on that T side. That is what this map is renowned for, just getting things in streaks. And Acor going to be left completely blind off the back of the Deagle. He will be still able to get around the corner. There's only 1 man on the B side, so if they do go in that direction, there's definitely more possibilities. Flashbang timing could be perfect, but both players play a game of hide and seek, and although the position is known, there's not much Roy can do about it, and eventually he gets overwhelmed, even though AZ does survive on 1 HP.
Gotta give it to him for the effort. The Mad Lions lose another one. North have positioned themselves to try and come away with this. More of an A prioritization, not enough information for them to know how open B was, but they do start to continue to pick up these kills, leaving Acor all on his own with the scout, sitting in CT mid. Maybe can pick somebody up in the process, but North will be walking away with this one in a very likely fashion.
Yeah, Acor, I think they're just hiding in the corner. I think they know as well. He's going to be spotted out. Still has his trusty scout, but Yugi, a nice couple of shots. And this is the man I want to see step up to the plate. Again, he's right near the bottom of the ball for his side. Not having the best CT side. Like, he had a few moments, but it definitely seemed like towards the end of it, he was getting overwhelmed. But a couple of nice scout shots could definitely turn that round. And going onto the T side, we saw how effective Acor was at getting the opening picks. This round at least, oh, well, he should have an absolute field day. They're going to be just running towards him, unarmored players. Roy actually gets the first kill. He's hitting a lot of them, but somehow he's not killed anyone yet. This is amazing, but there you go. He has some support. The nade even going to do the work. And there we go. I was about to say, if he didn't get a single kill, I'd feel bad because he did most of the damage.
Like, nah, man, I'm just trying to put dents in them. I don't want the kills. That's for you guys. Trying to be a good teammate. Yeah. I want to pad your stats, y'all. In the end, though, Mad Lions do fall with their final victim, so North pick up another one here. Starting to string them together on the T side. It's interesting to think of over for, if you're looking at Yugi in particular, and we've talked about after the first map how we need him to come online, and he is starting to now, but even before that's happened, North were still able to keep themselves very present here on Dust2. So if they can continue to foster that potential pop-off, maybe more can happen from it. But it's committed over in long. All of the utilities strewn across the floor as North start to lose multiple members, but so do the members of Mad Lions. It's going to be 2 Ts over here rotating over by blue. Acor will be the one trying to get the shot over with the AUG, but he backs up for now.
I imagine they'll boost him back onto the site. I think that's the only smart thing you can really do here. Get him some high ground. He shouldn't be able to win this duel versus Yugi, because Yugi's just holding the angle. But I imagine Akor's not going to peek too far into this, because the further he goes, the riskier it gets. You can see AZ just trying to hold off the rotations for now, and he's actually going to go past the angle. It's so risky to take that fight, because it's such a pixel shot that he would have needed to hit. But I guess he does manage to gain the information. Now the smoke's going to fall over, but it depends if this is an elaborate ruse. It looks like they're trying to bait them into a rotation, and to be fair, as of right now, there is absolutely no one on that B site. So they should be able to hold them in here, but without spotting anyone, I wonder if they'll still fall for this. Actually, it's going to be the peek into mid. Bubsky with the quick flick. That's the bomb down in middle as well. 40 seconds left, and again, this has to become a scramble. The shots from AZ not connecting either, so he will get that smoke down, but at the moment, Yugi's still just trying to retrieve the bomb. So this is going to be a lot of time being taken with all these players currently missing shots. They're just giving more and more information. I don't know how he's still alive. Finally, just goes down, but that's the shot again. There's 20 seconds. AZ not only has to run, collect the bomb, he has to take it somewhere, plant it, and I don't even know if he has enough time for that. He has to try and make the play through short, and he's just missed the jump. That's it. It's done.
Done, indeed. He got lucky there to be able to pick it up. The fact that no one happened to be crossing over through those mid doors at the time, or by them rather, but in the end, time will be your worst enemy in those situations. Bubsky's positioning was everything there. If that bomb was able to make it over to the B site where there wasn't a lot of opposition, then it could have went completely differently. But great on the side of the CT to just read that and make sure that they don't get tricked by a fake that was looking to happen.
The thing that confuses me a little bit is why they went through mid. Because if they go through the spawn, like, they already know that the tunnels is clear because AZ was there a minute ago. So they know that B-side's clear. They know that the spawn, well, the spawn's very likely to be clear. And they know that tunnels is clear. But instead they try and take the bomb through mid, and that loses them the round. So I think that was just a risk that really didn't need to be taken. And because of it, well, they lose the round, and it becomes just a complete mess of trying to retrieve the bomb. So I almost feel like, sure, like, you got to give props to Bubsky, you got to give props, I can't remember who gets the final kill into Yugi, which pretty much wins them the round, but you also have to say that North kind of lost that round rather than Mad Lions actually winning it.
It's true. It's not like that's a secretive place for somebody to be sitting. And it's no secret to Mad Lions that North have a couple trying to gather information over through the long doors. But will they be able to blast those doors open? Gonna have to wait for now. Hunden gets one with the HE onto Yugi, so taking him away. That's one rifle that that won't be available over to North. Acor, he has been on fire, on fire, on fire throughout this entire series and continues to do so. Mad Lions really need it at this point, being in a deficit. North already getting into the double digits over here on their T side. Potential rotation could be made through short on A, which is why North are leading in with the Molly. As Mad Lions don't have anyone directly onto the site. It will be on Acor if a move is to be made, and Roy to make that rotation too. Currently over in the CT spawn, smokes for some cover as he makes his way through. Acor starts to crack this open as Gabe's life is taken away. Cajun B and AZ continue to commit to this. Blocking off short A to keep potential rotation from happening, and there's a kill onto Roy. Makes it a lot easier to get this plant, and with that plant, they can try and hold on to this, but Acor is still continuing to hit those shots. Bubsky will be making his way over through the CT spawn as well through elevator, and Acor, they know he's there, he keeps getting it, but they just can't do anything about it. So Mad Lions are able to, with 4 still standing, holding onto the rifles and getting the round victory to tie this up 10-10.
He's so good. I genuinely, like, I almost feel bad for North that you have to face that. Because every shot, like, I think he missed one, and it was literally like a 0.01 millimeter shot. But even that, like, that first one is gross. And then every other player that just walks into his angle is like, yep, okay, that's me getting an easy kill. And you look at his face afterwards, and he's like, yes, this is very easy for me.
I did my job.
Yeah, I got kills. Next round, come on, bring it on. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's not even like he's trying. That's what's so impressive about it. He makes it look so easy. And none of the shots he just hit were easy.
There's not much that you can do about it on North. Right? You look over there.
Flash him off and kill him. That would be the best way.
But you have to commit. So they have other objectives that they're trying to worry about, and the rotations happening from the rest of Mad Lions in that case. Very difficult for them to isolate. Bubsky finds some damage over in mid, but gets the kill in the process. Or from Roy's been doing great holding over in that CT spawn rotation. They do have someone directly onto the site as well here. Acor being able to watch more aggressively on the platform. North with bomb in hand, and all 4 that are still remaining up start to make their crossover through this short way. And Acor's got the upper angle, but waiting before he takes that shot, tries to get one. AZ's the one that walked away with 2 frags in these interactions, and North have made their way onto the platform itself.
It's one of the best chances they've had in a long time. Gabe is going to be easily dealt with. Of course, they do still have no armor on the majority of players, but AZ has been able to find a Krieg to play with. No utility actually remaining either for the CT side, so there are definite possibilities here now for North. Patience from Acor, just hoping that his teammates can play the distraction as he looks to make his way in through long. Cajun B holding the angle, and Acor needs to make the move, but actually he just opts to get the kill, and the remaining players are going to just save their weapons. A good round from North, a great round from AZ in particular with the couple of kills that he gets, and I think they're all going to die. So it's good, it's still costly, but at the same time, North have managed to retake their lead.
Had there been some more time on the clock, perhaps Mad Lions could have walked away with that, but still a lot for them to be happy with, taking the money away.
That was so sick. That was so sick from AZ. And those are the plays that we want to be seeing from him.
10-11, North losing on the first map of this series, but proving that they deserve to be here. It's been really tight between these two teams. Really been enjoying the play that both of them have been putting forward. And it's a complete switch up on the strategy this time. So much commitment over towards A from North on this T side. I like that they're delaying where they'll be bringing this through.
Good job from Cajun at least to get the first. He's going to make things at least a 4 versus 4, which normally we would talk about benefiting this T side. The nades over the top though, Gabe is just going to catch those and they'll explode in his hands. It's a not very fun game of hot potato. It explodes on the first attempt. But even still, they have their presence around short. They've got a lot of utility. They've had some success over the last few rounds, able to isolate Acor on that AWP, which, hey, that's a task easier said than done. Yugi still yet to really hit the level that we've been hoping for. Gabe trapped in the corner, and it's going to spread, and he's going to die. That is so unfortunate. The smoke just that little bit too slow, and the utility damage now even coming out from Acor. He doesn't even get, and nobody assists him there. That was purely off his own nade damage. Now they set off this push with one less player and 35 seconds left, and they've still got to get past this AWP.
The continued prioritization of A site from North has allowed Mad Lions to confidently set up their defenses with all of these angles. Acor still continuing to have an impact, but for the first time in a long time, North finally do get the answer at the hand of Yugi, who we know needs to pop off for North to be able to walk away with an overall victory. Enough of a presence to get the bomb plant, but Mad Lions still have 3 standing. Shush finds some firepower as he makes his rotation, and AZ gets the spray down with the SG over towards Long. With that completely cleared, Roy and Shush make their rotation over towards the site itself, hop up on, and North finally make it connect to bring this lead a little bit farther.
Yeah, no, that was a good clutch situation from the 2 players on the site. The trade was so important from Yugi to be able to get them in the first place, and then they just play well together. Like, again, AZ just seems to be one of those players who is still there on the server when they need him, and he started to rise to the occasion a little bit. A 2-round advantage, and also a position where we can't really even see a buy coming up for Mad Lions, so likelihood is we're going to see a 13th put onto the board for North, unless they force it, but I just think that would be a bit too risky, especially when they're going to get 2,400 into their bank accounts in the next round. So just good to see a few deagles, a few nades. Like, they managed to get a nade stack into Long a few rounds ago, which actually did a lot of damage. So they're going to be getting back into this one. And now North, I would say they're properly in the driver's seat at this point. Like, that's the thing. It's been some close rounds. Sure, the CT side got a couple in there, but if they can just streak like they have been, they should be able to close out this map.
It's amazing what happens when you kill Acor. Obviously not the main determining factor in that round, but he was only able to pick one up before falling, which allowed North to just better position at that point. No reason for North to be excessively aggressive here, since they are going against the pistol lineup of Mad Lions, who are forced to position themselves a bit more closely as they gather around mid.
Yeah, this is a round where they're just trying to stack up all together. They don't even have a flashbang to really burst themselves through. Hunter still able to get one, and they're going to try and pounce over this AZ with a nice cleanup at least, but even still 2 players dropped. Not too bad considering the investment for Mad Lions, and, well, we are going to see an investment in from the CT side, but this is going to be one of those high-impact rounds. This is one that if Mad Lions are going to stay in this map, they almost have to win, because they've at least put some pressure on North's economy.
And I honestly don't know which way it's going to go if you've been looking at the way both these teams have been performing on this map. Mad Lions showing that they have so much synergy as a team, but North really starting to turn it up over here on the T side. Tightening the strategies that have sometimes faltered in the earlier portion of the half, but nonetheless. For the first time in a while, we're seeing North have some over in the tunnels with the bomb itself. Mad Lions have also started to split off more in that direction, setting Bubsky and Shush to take care of the B site. With Acor and Roy both aggressively positioned at the bottom of Catwalk.
Oh, he's hitting both of them. He's only going to get one of the kills, but still, again, Roy catching North with their pants down, and still, they never really come out of these positions with an advantage. Sure, it's an advantage HP-wise. Hunden going to be in an aggressive position. Is Yugi going to expect the second player to be there? This has to be a trade from Hunden, and it's only going to be damage. The nade should at least kill AZ. Nothing he can do to survive that, and still we end up in a 3 versus 3. Hunden's going to go aggressive, and I don't like that. I think that's too much. Handing a kill away, then Shush, he's dealt the same hand, and it's left all onto Bubsky. The bomb still dropped in middle. They don't have to go in the direction of this man. I think the footsteps may even be heard by Kajim if he goes too far forward. Well, he knows it's not in the tunnels anymore. There's a small chance that if he gets the timing right, he can drop the bomb again, but instead, he's actually going to go all the way around into the spawn. I think by that point, the bomb should have been picked up and should be gone towards A, but they are taking quite a while to do it. There's a very slim chance he can catch them. No, they should be far enough away at this point.
For a second, was hoping for it, but they've rotated away at that point. He will end up running into Kirby, which means Mad Lions drop this round. 14-10. North do need to get the victory on this map to be able to keep themselves in the entirety of these series. And if you look at their performances within these last rounds, 4 consecutive victories for them at this point. It's a lot of momentum that they've been rolling with. Mad Lions needed that round win so desperately to be able to gain some more confidence going for a quick succession to win the overall map. And they could still make something happen, which is why they're taking that tactical pause.
Yeah, I think they kind of threw that one away. Like, they were in a 3 versus 3. Sure, there was a chance that, like, obviously the North, like, group up and go to the site together, and then it is going to be an advantageous position for them. But I think Hunden just running out into middle, like, he was so desperate to get that kill onto Yugi after he did the damage that he actually ends up getting punished for it, and then Shush tries to react to that by going aggressive somewhere else, and he gets punished as well. And by that point, it's already done.
Just because he was at 13 HP, the guy still had an op. That's too much for you to try and run into. They paid the price for it. They still have a few chances to try and turn around. Unfortunately, it's North that come out advantageous at the start of this, taking down the IGL and Acor with the response onto AZ. Eagle play.
The thing is that they already have A. Like, they have it almost firmly under their control. Like, they've pushed through, they've reacted to this mid-aggression over the last few rounds. And that is the thing that I want to give props to North, is the last few rounds, I don't think they've done anything insane. It's just that they've been waiting for this aggression to go out from Mad Lions, and they finally realized what they're trying to do. They realize they're trying to disrupt their T side, so they've fallen into more default rounds. And since then, they've actually been winning things quite cleanly just by being patient. And, well, this round is almost too easy because they know exactly what's going on. 15-10, North just 1 round away after a 5-round streak. It seems like a long time ago that the scoreline was equalized. And now, if you just look at even the board in itself, the difference is that most of the North players are performing, whereas on the other side, you only have 1, which is not something you really say very often. In fact, normally we give props to Mad Lions for always having the full team performing well. Well, it's Acor with 26 kills. The next on the board is Roy with 13.
That's been the big difference maker here. Numbers were so equalized in the first map. But here, Mad Lions do start to get an advantage for the first time we've seen in a long time here in the second half. Taking down 2 right off the bat, doing some damage to Yugi. That's the punishment that we need to see over from the CT side, as they have aggressed over across mid, with Hunden positioned by Long. And that's where the bomb is too. So if it does make the movement in, even if Hunden falls, there's just enough information from the rest, but he doesn't even need to fall. He instead cleans it up, and Mad Lions keep themselves within this. 11 on the board for them.
Yeah, the challenge in mid seemed like an almost a brute force attempt to finish things. They fight onto Bubsky, who hasn't been having one of his best games. That's easy to say, but we now sit 15-11. There's still a chance. I feel like Mad Lions are definitely one of those teams that are never out of the game until that 16th round is on the board. They're going to go back to this aggressive stance. Now, it hasn't been overly successful, them peeking into short, especially now that it's almost expected, or it has to be expected by North, that they're going to be making this play. They're going to be sat around middle once again, and again, they want to try and challenge onto Bubsky, which they're not going to spot him out. Acor with the boosted position, and he catches Gage jumping. It's going to be the pick going their way once more. Bubsky, to be a bit careful here. The flashbang's very good, but I think he just wanted the information more than anything else. Didn't want to risk going for the re-peek just yet. They've already got the man advantage and don't really need to take those sort of risks. In the meantime, the CT side have actually gone for long aggression. Maybe thinking after the failed attempts to go short and mid that it'll be a switch up from North and they'll fight into long instead. But they've actually just set up Hunden in the corner. And instead, they're going to start making their way around to B.
I do like the way that they've been setting that up over on the CT side, but it is B where they're going to have to be paying most attention. Moving through the smoke, the T's have entered into the site. Typical boosted position for Kirby to get this opening kill onto the site, and Cajun B also follows up with 1. Mad Lion starting to make their rotation over. Roy sees that there's too much action through those B doors. It's completely cut off by fire and the flames on the floorboards, and North can get the plant directly off of that. Unfortunately for them, there is an opening opportunity for the CTs to move into the site, which is taken as Hunden takes a big hit to his own HP, but gets that trade in the process. So North starts to get burned down continuously. The door is being cracked open for the CTs to move through, but a body has been dropped. Hunden with 2. to finish off all the bodies on the north side. Plenty of time for them to get the defuse, and Mad Lions going mad crazy to keep themselves in this.
This is the exact round that we're talking about. There was a moment in this half where I think Hunden was 7 and maybe 22, something of the sort. He has now just got like a few kills over the last few rounds. Do you know how many kills he got in that retake?
How many?
All of them.
Every single one.
It was Hunden just running in and gunning. And he got tagged really low in the first battle, so he did very well. His teammates, of course, pulling off a great distraction with all the nades that they threw in, but that's what we talk about when we say that there's those impact rounds that come out from Hunden. Sure, he's not going to be your top fragger. He's not even going to be second or third most of the time, but
quality over quantity, right?
Yeah, exactly. There'll be a few rounds that he manages to steal away, and that was the most important one of them all. That was a 3v3 retake with the bomb down on the B site in 15-11, so he may have just given them a lifeline to come back in this map.
That veteranship, that mental fortitude, all contribute to an IGL's ability to keep calm and collected when the moments matter. With this being the map point once again for North continuously, Mad Lions cannot afford to drop any point within these rounds. Continuing to aggress over on short A. Yugi's the first one to get a shot brought down to 16, but that hasn't stopped him in the past from getting a nice hefty answer onto the opposition. Will join the rest of the T's as they await their decision to be made. Completely smoked off of those stairs. But it's Mad Lions moving over towards long. Do find Kirby here. Complete trade-off happening at that moment in time. No one else is going to be coming from the long side from the T's. Mad Lions keep too preoccupied over on B and complete long control to rotate over onto A if necessary.
And it looks like they're going to go for this split into the site again. The last round, they were very good with the entries. It was Kirby to do it instead. Now there's this flank from Ryan. He started to step up. A couple of kills for him once again. 3 total, and they already know where this push is coming in. Shush is going to end the life of one. It's left all onto Gade in the clutch, and he can't quite do it. 15-13, grinding these rounds back, and finally, and unfortunately, there's going to be a break in the buys coming up for the T side. They don't have the money to invest. This is what you want from Roy. Like, if this man gets space, he is the most damaging to any player in this server. It's similar to what we saw Steel doing yesterday on Overpass, where he's not just going to be happy with a frag. I think that's what you can look at. The second he realizes there's any space anywhere, he will exploit it and utilize it to the best of his ability. And well, you can see in that round that there was no way they were expecting anybody to be that far behind. Pause called by North, no surprise there. They're still in the lead. They still have the possibility to close this out as like a 16-14. I don't think they're going to get this round unless there's some serious mistakes or some incredible 1-digs, because that's where the majority of their money is going. But for the CT side, this is what I mean. Like, Mad Lions are never out of the match until it is over. And they are starting to bring this back once again.
The map control from Mad Lions has been extremely great for them these past few rounds. Even with the aggressive positioning over on short, they're not getting punished for it nearly as much as you would hope over if you're a North fan. And they'll continue to do so. Roy sat at the bottom of those steps. Bubsky and Shush once again keeping their eyes on the B site. We'll have to see where the commitment comes from North with the bomb, considering they're all working with the pistols. There's some nade damage onto Gade and AZ. So not only are they ill-equipped, no utility, 3 of them get flashed out, and the follow-up is there from Mad Lions. Roy taken off, Hunden and Acor getting splattered to bits a tad, but North are still only standing with 2. The 2v2 is here. They take this opportunity to move directly onto the site. Picked up anything that they found, and luckily for North, there was an op and an M4 right there onto A. The bomb goes. Mad Lions also have an op of their own, but it's the SG that gets this crack open into Cajun B's head. And there's the finish off.
They win both duels so easily. It's a team ace as well. That was still a decent round in isolation for North. Like, they give themselves a chance in a round where they didn't look like they had one. They get some kills with the Deagles, so that might be a little bit of a confidence booster. It is worth mentioning as well, like, if you look at the current scoreboard, Cajun B and Kirby both on 26 kills apiece, definitely performing But this is it. This is crunch time. This is where everything comes into play. Both teams are going to have a fall buy. There's plenty of money to purchase on either side. The SGs will come in. If Yugi desires it, we'll see him get another AWP. In fact, it's going to be juggled over by a teammate just to make sure that they can both get the amount of utility they want. So this is pretty much it. We could be seeing overtime, or we could be seeing North close out this map and take us to a third. And straight away, we're going to see a default for them, like waiting in the B tunnels. The majority of their players going in that direction, but making sure that we can't see that level of aggression once again. And the CT side, again, have taken that long control away from them and actually look to take a bit of a peek in. It's going to be Acor with the AWP, and there is a man on the other side.
Oh, what fun the full buy life can be. Such aggression with the utility off the bat to try and get a pick through long. And here we start to see the damage come through on AZ as he receives some. Unable to follow up for the complete kill with the nade. Over a minute to go on the clock, and North have gathered themselves on short once more.
What's the bet that he gets with hit with an HE? Look, Hunden's even lining it up now. I think AZ's just far enough away. It's going to be his teammates to take the damage instead. Ooh. There's actually no real defense here, though. Yugi has found the kill. The other nade going to be going over, which again just going to do a little bit of damage, but there's a real possibility here. Hunden and Roy going to be doing a lot of the work. The flashbang comes out. Roy just about makes it into the corner, but he has been spotted. Bubsky trying to find some shots through the smoke, and Roy's going to go down. They line up though for Bubsky. He's been able to get one, but he still gets traded out. But he has given a lifeline, but now it's left to Shush. 1 versus 2. Do they expect him to be this close? I don't think they do. He's not going to hit the shots though. North will just about close out the map. It was as tight as it could be, but somehow North have taken us to a third. There is going to be that final map thrown in, and you're going to get to cast your first Vertigo.
Oh yeah, I'm super excited. Of all the places for the series to end, especially considering just the strength and prowess that both of these teams have brought to the table, I can't imagine how things are going to be going down on Vertigo.
Yeah, no, that was just a sick map overall. Like both teams are sort of brawling backwards and forwards, and yeah, I'm excited to see how this is going to end. I think going into Vertigo, Mad Lions have a very good win percentage, so they're probably going to be favored.
And I was looking for a moment like they were going to be pushing that into overtime here on Dust2.
Yeah, for sure.
So much trade back and forth, but in the end, North came out victorious to tie up this entire series. And when we return, if you're a Vertigo fan, this is the time for you, because that is exactly where we'll be heading. We'll be right back.